There has never been a better time than now to come join the Bellisio Foods team. Bellisio has a new contract in place with plenty of awesome perks for their employees. From increased wages, access to the free health clinic, vacation after 6 months, and much more, Bellisio Foods is committed to putting their employees first. For more information or to apply, visit BellisioFoods.com/careers. Take advantage of these great new employee benefits and join the Bellisio team today. Visit BellisioFoods.com/careers to learn more.
Everyone, and welcome to another edition of the morning show right here on Main Street TV. We're so happy to have you here with us this morning and a very special guest. I've been blessed with 2 special guests in a row, and this is our good friend Simba Jordan. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We could talk about conversations we have off the air, but probably get us in trouble, wouldn't it?
A little bit.
So, welcome to the program. Welcome to our area. And you are playing at now I have a real hard time spewing this out, Ohio Hill Country Festival tonight.
Yes.
And we are so happy to have you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So let's start off the show a little bit by just telling everybody a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how'd you get into music and, all that stuff.
So I'm from Columbus, Ohio, born and raised. I wasn't into music like that as a kid. I was into sports more. So playing football, I had aspirations of, playing in the NFL. That was my dream.
Good.
And didn't come across music till later. I wasn't in choir in school, except for what was required of you to do. Like, if you got a music class, you had to go to it. I did that. But if I had an elective where I could pick other art, I'm actually a visual artist. I'm pretty good at that as well. But I started to go in that direction of other things. It wasn't never music. So it wasn't until I got a little older and after I graduated from high school that I started to venture toward music.
Wow.
And just singing and stuff like that to the radio. And my friends would say, man, you sound real close to the singers on the radio, and it was always different singers. It could be rock or R&B or whatever, pop, whatever it was. I liked all music at the time anyway. So as a kid, I got into country music. As a kid, I listened to R&B and hip hop in my neighborhood. That's what was natural for where I grew up in the city of Columbus. And whenever we went to my grandparents' house is when I listened to country music. Or I grew up watching Hee Haw and the Dolly Parton show.
I did Hee Haw. Oh my gosh. Forced to watch that at the grandparents' house. It must have been a grandparent thing.
It was. But then, with me having black grandparents, I just didn't think of it any way different because that's what the shows we were watching. I didn't think of it as some of my other friends may not have had that same experience in my neighborhood, let's say. So we would ride to, there was a grocery store chain called Big Bear. I don't know if it was out this way or not.
Yes, we had a Big Bear here, believe it or not. It's where our Kroger store is now. But
so we would ride with
forgot about that.
My grandmother would take us to the grocery store, and she would play these 8 tracks of Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. And it seemed like that was the only 2 8 tracks she had. It was it had Coward of the County on it and The Gambler.
Yep.
And the other one had Islands in the Stream with Dolly. And I swear to goodness, I never heard anything else. She never played the radio that much unless we were going out of town. But it was always those songs. And I remember being so heartfelt about Coward of the County. Listening to that story.
Yes.
I was afraid for him. And all the things that people talk about with country music. I was feeling that as a little kid sitting in the back seat. I was going to say,
so you're a little kid listening to the lyrics of a song because that doesn't normally happen.
Because it's so much of a story.
It
the
is.
way he talks, the way he sings, they're so story based, not really just like a song.
Yes.
It's like someone took a story and made it into a song, or if it was a book or something. And I think that's probably why he was able to do movies.
Kenny Rogers,
songs.
No, you're right.
So they made him into movies, and it's based off a song.
Kind of his thing.
Yes. Yeah. So I still didn't know I was going to be a singer or even a country singer. And got a little older and was listening to a lot of country. Had an uncle of mine. It's actually my best friend's uncle, but he was like my uncle as well. And we would do, it was a moving company we worked for. And he was the owner-operator. and he would hire me and my buddy, and we would work with him and move people. So like pack up people's stuff, move them to another town, and unpack everything into the house.
Yeah.
So when we're in the back of that trailer on a hot summer day, we just had a tape deck, and he would play.
Now you're aging yourself. Just saying. We went from 8 tracks to tapes.
He would play Randy Travis.
Yeah.
So, and I wasn't really hip to Randy Travis. It was just another form of country that I moved into based off of other people.
Yeah. Love
of country. So it's still, if you listen in my neighborhood, I'm still listening to hip hop and R&B in my neighborhood. And if I'm probably buying, I don't even know if I was buying any music at that time yet.
Sure.
My brother would buy music and I would listen to his stuff. But that would be more like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Stuff like Prince, stuff like that. So those are all influential to me. I really love Randy. So Randy Travis is my favorite country singer. And a few more years go by. So as I get a little bit older, I'm listening to, now there's this Garth Brooks comes around.
Yeah.
And you have Brooks and Dunn and Alan Jackson. And then, so I'm still not really, I'm still probably hip hop, because at that point I actually dance hip hop style of dance. And ended up, I would go to the club, and the club we would go to was a club called Club Dance, which was country.
I remember that.
The other side
we must be around the same age. Our stories are.
So I would go to the hip hop side and just dance hip hop all night long. But then I would have that drawing over the country.
Yeah.
So you go through this little door, and then everything was country. Everyone's line dance over here.
Yes.
Everyone's doing hip hop on this side. So it was like I had this anchoring to go to the side, and I'd watch, and I'm listening to the songs, and I'm watching the dancing. And it's just getting me. It's really catching on to me. Like, I like these songs. I like line dancing. I never got fully into line dancing, but I like line dancing. And
well, let's just stop for a minute and talk about the elephant in the room. You're the black guy in the country music side of club dance.
Of club dance, yes.
How'd that work out for you?
Obviously, there's there's looks, they're looking at me and stuff like that.
Guy?
And it was weird because sometimes people would the hip hop people would stay on the hip hop side and the country people. But I like to go back and forth. And if they played like the electric slide,
awesome.
Or like there's certain songs like Boot Scoot Boogie had a very similar electric slide dance to it.
Yes.
Just a couple moves were different.
Yeah.
So I could go over there and do that.
And the old tush push. Do you remember that one?
Tush push, yeah. So it was cool. And I would
still do that.
I would just go back and forth. And I was really loving all that music because, in the 90s, everything was good they put out. They couldn't put out a bad song.
Listen, country music in the 90s, that's one of my top things that I listen to at home. Just turn it because it's what we grew up with, but I don't care because it was good.
Yes.
It was good.
And it seemed like even if it was a one-hit wonder, that one song that they put out was
awesome.
A hit. Or if you were mainstream and you stayed on top of
sure.
the charts. So I ended up listening. I was working at a Honda plant, the Honda plant in Marysville.
Yeah.
I was a temp, though.
Okay.
I wasn't full-time. So there was a guy that would come over and help if we were low or we were behind on the cars and stuff. I worked in a paint shop. And there was a guy that came over, and he looked like the brunette version of Alan Jackson, if you can imagine that.
Wow.
So he had long hair and the goatee. And like I said, he'd wear a ball cap, obviously not a cowboy hat because we're working, right? And he would come over, and the ladies would ask him to sing. And he sounded similar to an Alan Jackson, but they really loved his singing.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm listening to country. The whole time I go it's a 45-minute drive to Honda. So I'm finding all these country stations because I'm so into country now. So 3 of my 4 stations I could pick up, I'm finding all the country stations. And I got my one, probably a hip-hop R&B station I'll probably listen to, and maybe a rock station. So if I find a certain song that I like, I'm just switching back and forth to these 3 country stations.
Sure.
To try to find it. So I decided, I hear about a competition on the radio, and it's being held at Club Dance.
Oh, no way.
So
you're like, I'm there.
So I'm like, maybe I should see if I can sing country music, because I'm singing all the time, and I think I got this twang down, because either you're naturally from the South or something where you talk like that, so when you sing it would just come out naturally. But I think if you don't have that accent, you would have to kind of work on it.
Well, if you grew up down here, you would.
Right. But I grew up in Columbus. So
I went to college. People said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Jackson." They said, "Oh, Mississippi. How'd you end up here?" I'm like, "No, actually Ohio, but same. I guess same."
Yeah. Same
Anyway,
concept.
we digress.
So I get in a competition, and it's toward the last day of the competition. So I can't mail it in. I have to actually physically go to the lady's house who's running it.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Kathy Paul.
Okay.
And I show up at her house, and she says, if you want to get in, you got to get in today. Otherwise, it's like a late fee and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a whole lot of money, so I didn't want to pay a late fee. So I show up at her door. She doesn't know who I am. I just show up at the door. I'm like, I'm here for the competition. And I got my fee and my registration and my fee. The first thing she says is, you know, this is a country competition.
Do you know where you are right now?
Exactly. In so many ways. In the nicest way she could say that. She said. So I was like, yeah, I know. I'm going to see what I can do here, right? So it was pretty big back then. A lot of people wanted to make it in country music and singers and stuff. So there was a lot of people in this competition, and it was guys and girls. So when you competed, you didn't just compete against guys.
Oh, I got
girls
you.
against girls. So you had to be able to sing. You know, if someone was doing a Garth Brooks tune, some female might be doing Martina McBride, and you got to be able to bang with her vocally.
Right.
When
That's
most guys
tough.
can't sing, you know, like the same kind of songs that girls sing.
Yeah.
So I'm there, and again, you know, like you said, I'm the only African American in the competition, and people are looking at me. People are kind of staring, and I'm just cool with it because I you know, you had to do a couple songs, and you had to have like a song in case you needed a tiebreaker or something like that.
Okay.
And these are all with tracks. So no one was playing any instruments. So you had backing vocal or backing tracks. And I ended up...
So what'd you sing?
I sang Too Much Fun, Daryl Singletary.
Okay.
And I sang Not That Different, Colin Ray.
Okay.
So I wanted my up-tempo song so I could showcase, because I dance. So I would bring this hip-hop dance to country music, but I would hold it back. I wouldn't go full hip hop. I do enough that most of the guys that I was going to compete against, or even the women, they're just going to probably stand there and just sing real well.
Uh-huh.
They're not going to work the stage. And
Yeah.
part of what you were being judged on is how well of an entertainer you were.
Yeah.
So if I could work the stage and be entertaining from a dancing standpoint as well as singing, I felt like that put me more in a category of like a Elvis, Michael Jackson, Prince, where you could sing and dance, which is why I think they were so successful. Like I said, they had good songs, they sang real well, but they also danced.
Yes.
And
The entertainers.
right. So I did the Colin Ray song because that was going to show off my vocal ability.
Yeah.
And my range would be different from other male singers, and it could compete somewhat with the female singers.
Gotcha.
So if you did Colin Ray's vocal ability and you said Martina McBride, you said, man, he's a really good singer. And if it's the right song, you might be able to hit the right note that would hold with
a girl.
someone doing, you know, Broken Wing.
Right.
You know, so I ended up getting third place. So I won a little bit of money.
Nice.
And the backstory I didn't tell you was I didn't own a cowboy hat. I didn't own cowboy boots. I had to borrow a pair of boots from a buddy of mine who had the same shoe size as me. And I had some relaxed fit jeans on. I didn't have like Wranglers or anything. And then my grandfather had gave me a belt buckle that was about, I don't know, yay big. It wasn't a George Strait belt buckle, which I never was into the George Strait belt buckle, like the rodeo buckle.
Yeah.
I wanted a smaller one. Still wanted to represent country, but not the huge.
Well, let me just stop you right there, because if you watch this program, you know I was the horse queen of the county.
Okay.
Just to let you know, I have the belt buckle.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
I'll let you borrow it if you want.
Okay, tonight. Can I wear it tonight?
Absolutely.
So I ended up going to a Western store. We only had like one Western store in Columbus.
Rod's Western Palace.
Rod's Western Palace.
Yes. Spent many days there.
Because that's where you get all your gear and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I end up buying like a $30 felt hat.
Uh-huh.
And it's just to have a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
So I had that, and I had like this shirt I thought kind of looked country, but it probably wasn't. Because I used to work at Structure Men's Clothing.
Yes.
So they had some shirts kind of plaid or whatever. And I was like, well, I'll just get this guy got a discount on it.
There you
so
go.
I had a long sleeve shirt on, these relaxed fit jeans, cowboy boots that I borrowed from a buddy of mine. And I don't even know. There's probably a picture somewhere. And
This is great.
But like I said, I won third place. So
That's
I was like,
so
man, I'm
good.
hooked now. I want a little bit of money.
Now you're
And
like,
I want a VIP to club dance. So I could go anytime for free.
oh, well, that was it right there.
And if you're under 21, you had to pay $10 to get in.
Yes.
If you're 21, I think you only pay like $3.
Yeah.
But they didn't want all the younger riffraff in there because the younger kids would want to fight.
No, they want young girls in there. They just
Definitely
don't
not. Yeah,
want
because the
young
girls,
guys in
I don't even
there.
know if they had a cover charge. But the guys,
just
they
let
may
us
pay
in.
$10.
We just walked in.
Yeah. So, that's how I started.
No, that's really a cool story.
And then from there, I did state and national competition.
Okay.
So from there, I went on to another style of competition, which was the Buckeye Country Music Organization.
Yes.
And I competed, again, still just me, no one else like me in the competition. But here I'm in the male category and adult.
Okay.
So I win Male Vocalist of the Year, Male Entertainer of the Year for Ohio. That allows me to go on nationally and compete. Still just me competing nationally, representing Ohio. And I win, and I didn't even go to the award show because it was expensive. They went like $35 a head. There was no food at the time. I'm not trying to be.
Hey, listen,
different.
you're a struggling artist.
Exactly.
You know? I mean, let's just
it was
be
like when
honest
you go to the
about
award
it.
show and I have family there. It's like everybody's gonna spend $35. It's like, well, what do you got? Like a chicken or steak? No, it's nothing. Just the award show. So at the time, we decided to go home. And if I won something, I won something.
Yeah.
If I didn't, it's okay. And I did the best I could at the show. And Kathy calls me the next day, and she goes, "So, how do you think you did?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm a pretty good entertainer. Maybe I did pretty good at entertainment." And she goes, "You won the whole thing." And I said, "What?" She said, "Male Vocalist of the Year, and Male Entertainer of the Year." So I was just ecstatic.
Dang, I should have spent that $35.
Right, to actually see it and actually pick up the award. Or I could have made a situation where they said, well, he's not here, so next up is this guy.
Right.
So
Evidently he didn't want
you have
the
to
award.
be here to win, yeah. So that was cool and that was great. And then I did it again the very next year, states, and I did a duo competition with actually Kathy's daughter, Barb.
Oh, cool.
And we won Duo of the Year for Ohio. I won Male Vocalist of the Year, Male Entertainer of the Year. Nationally, Male Vocalist of the Year, Male Entertainer of the Year,
Oh, my gosh.
Duo of the Year.
Did you stay for that award
Yes,
show?
I did go to that
Okay,
award
that's
show.
my man.
I just felt good. I felt better about it. I don't know, but it's called the North American Country Music Association International. And they were more about promoting country music.
Gotcha.
So any pitfall that I might have thought I might have had, this organization was more about, we want to keep country music alive. So
Love that.
they were doing, where someone like me could go in there and be very good and I could win. So I always appreciated that both organizations. And with Kathy, the way she does her competitions, it really helps you. Like holding a microphone was part of the judging.
Like
So
how
like
you
if you
hold the microphone?
how you hold it, if you get like the wire, if you have a wired mic, if you tripping on it, stepping on it, you're gonna lose points.
Heard, yep.
So you have to be able to really, work that wire out when you're moving around, like here and there, switch it to here, go to the left side of the stage, go to the right side of the stage, perform, because people over here want to see you too, right? It's like when you're at a
Well,
concert.
of course, yeah.
If somebody stayed right in the middle the whole time, which, it can happen. But like I remember I seen George Strait. He went to all four sides of the stage. He had a stage right in the middle.
Yep.
And he sang songs over here, 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 and here.
Yep.
So you could say, man, I got to see George versus saying like, I can see him on the Jumbotron. Hi, George.
Yes. Like he actually came to me. He came to me.
Yes.
Yes.
So you had that feeling.
Yeah.
So that was me from that standpoint. That got me going.
Did they have a belt buckle competition?
They did not.
Dang
I
it.
would have probably lost it because my belt buckles are like this.
Honey, we need to talk about that after the program. Go ahead.
So that was cool. And I thought, man, Nashville's going to come and find me because I've won Nashville.
I'm winning all this stuff, right?
Exactly, right.
And I'm a black country music singer.
Right, which makes me different.
Absolutely.
So if this guy being different can be this successful,
Absolutely, yeah.
he deserves a record deal.
I think so.
But that's not how it works. So I learned, that's what I learned. So And, so the next step was to try to get to Nashville. And that was the next step. But part of my competition was so that if I started to do shows, I wanted to be able to say, if someone doubted me as a Black country singer, I wanted to present to them, here's a state title, here's a national title.
Yeah,
so
like
that they
I've got
would
credentials here.
Exactly. I have a resume.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I did get to do a couple, like a show. My first show I ever did was a track show. And because I didn't play guitar. And but I made like $100 for like 45 minutes.
Hey.
So I was like, well, that's more money than my job. so
right.
It made you lean toward how can I do more of this?
Yes.
And it was cool. So going back to Nashville, I ended up having a friend who was a singer, and she was friends with some other people. She calls me up and tells me about one of her friends the dad knows a guy, and he knows Tim McGraw's drummer.
Which is how this works, right?
Yes.
Like, let's just be honest. It's who knows who that you just happen to run into.
Right. It's all of those things, but you still don't know if that's going to get you there.
It's got to be a perfect storm, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes little storms that happen, which keep things relevant.
Yeah.
But never all the way. It could be, but sometimes you go, okay, here's a little storm and that was great, and here's a little storm and that was great. I always say peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
So I'll go through a moment where there's nothing happening. Then someone will call me about something, and all of a sudden, boom, it's here. Then it may be good for a little bit, but then all of a sudden there's another little hill. And that's been my career. It's like, but I stay in the game, so therefore I'm on the road. So I have the ability to go back up this hill. The minute I stop and park this car, I'm not on the road anymore. So then somebody calls me and I go like, yeah, I stopped singing like 2 years ago. You're just looking at old stuff on social media that I used to do. So she calls me about this guy that knew Tim McGraw's drummer.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I've known other people that have known other artists or played with them. So I said, well, I'll just go, because the thing is, you don't know.
Right.
It could be totally nothing, or it could be totally something.
Sure.
So I go up there, and this guy does know Tim McGraw's drummer, but he's not a drummer in his band. He's a drummer that plays sessions. So sessions is in the studio.
Oh, okay.
So you have guys that are on the road.
I got you.
You got
like
guys in
the
studio.
band.
Yes.
And then.
Right. And then it's like, yeah, I played on Tim McGraw's stuff, or that album. I played on, Faith Hill's album.
Well, there's a lot of artists that just travel around and do those sessions, right? Like they aren't necessarily with an artist in particular. They just play in the studio.
Yeah. So like, let's say if you were a session player, you would just live in Nashville, and they would say, hey, Jen, we need you to come. Let's say you were the horse riding video girl. You would be in Nashville, and it's like, well, Reba's doing this horse video. We need a girl to ride these horses. That would be you. Right. Somebody else is like, hey, we need you to go ride on the shows, and the shows all around. It's like that. So this guy's coming in. He's a top drummer in Nashville. He's playing on everyone's stuff. So not just Tim McGraw stuff, but it could be 20, 30 artists, because he's that good. So if it's like, well, you want these drums to sound good, you call this guy. And his name was Lonnie Wilson.
Lonnie. We like Lonnie. Yes, Lonnie's good guy. Good.
But then, so I ended up hooking up through that way, through a guy named J.B. Bruck, from a guy named Garth Nutter. Garth knows J.B. real well. J.B. is friends with Lonnie. Me and Garth do a little demo, send it to J.B. so J.B. could get it to Lonnie, see what we could come up with.
Sure.
Lonnie likes it, invites me down to Nashville. Lonnie's also a top songwriter in Nashville. So he also produces. We
like Lonnie.
Lonnie used to have a record deal, and he's in a group called Bandana, and they were used to kind of counter other bands like Alabama. Oh. So yeah, it was a band like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a group. Not like, so you have soloists, duos, bands, right? Yeah. So I got to meet Lonnie. Lonnie sent me some songs. So I'm learning them on the way to Nashville. I'm driving to Nashville to go to the studio. So I'm excited, he really likes me. We start working together. We do a kind of production management deal with JB and him, and we start pitching to some labels. And that's the part that gets kind of dicey. We had good songs and stuff, but just to cut to the chase, it just didn't happen. Yeah. And but Lonnie's been a good friend of mine, and we talk, and we, when I record, I like to record with Lonnie and stuff, because he's a great producer. And but he can get the top guys in Nashville because he's in in that club.
He's in
Yeah.
the club.
Right. So sometimes a guy can get like one guy, maybe two guys. Lonnie can get the whole band is all top guys in Nashville.
Does he have a cool belt buckle?
He probably did when he was in bandana. But
I'll take him to Ron's Western Palace too.
So ended up working at angle. But I'm doing this Nashville thing. And then it's still hard. Because even though you have all these credentials and resume, it doesn't always turn into a deal, let's say.
Yeah.
So I'm now at this point, I'm playing and stuff. I'm playing a lot. I'm doing stuff. I ended up putting together a band, and one of my bandmates is he's like semi-retired, but because he's playing with me tomorrow at doing the show. But his name is Wade Goheen.
Okay.
And he is from Colton.
Like Colton, Ohio? Shut the front door.
Wellston, yeah. So
That's wild.
He was my rhythm guitar player, and he's actually been teaching me guitar and stuff like that too. So I tried to get him to come down today to play a couple songs with us, but he's busy. And so that was really cool. And I know I keep saying
That's all right.
Now everybody will pay attention to that. So I've done shows. I did other competitions. I tried out for America's Got Talent. No. I did Nashville Star.
Oh, you did?
But I didn't make it on the show.
Why?
But I made all the cuts. But I didn't get the show part.
Do you need us to make a call for you?
That's what I'm saying. It's harder than what it seems like it would be. I made it through the first round of production for The Voice. Mm-hmm. But the second round I didn't make it. I picked the wrong song choice.
That's a big deal, too. Yeah. Song choice.
True. X Factor.
Uh-huh.
Simon Cowell left American Idol and did.
Yeah.
I did X Factor and made all the cuts. They wouldn't call me back for the TV show part.
Really?
Yeah. So I can't explain it, but I'm doing well. I just don't get all the way to the show part. So that just lets you know, what do you got to do to make it? It's like, okay, you can win competitions.
Yeah.
You can be plugged in with people who can make moves in Nashville. You can play with different people. We played Buckeye Country Superfest. Mm-hmm. Quint Davis from FPI, which is the promoter, was doing that at the time. Really liked me. Came up to me, said, "Man, you're great. I love your." He even loved my merchandise booth. He thought that was good, as well as the show and my musicians and everything. Professional.
That's awesome.
So he invites us to go play the Daytona Speedway.
Ooh.
It's called the Country 500 with Blake Shelton.
Okay.
And my name is on the T-shirt. So if you get a concert T-shirt,
shut up! That's awesome.
All the way at the bottom.
It's a little smaller than Blake Shelton.
No, it might have got smaller, but I'm on there though.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Good
so and we
you.
got I was probably the only one there without a deal. So we're next to like William Michael Morgan. We're having lunch with Martina McBride, Dan and Shay, Maddie and Tay, and they treated us like kings. But still, we did pre-parties for Garth at the Shot, all 6 shows. Alan Jackson, Jason Aldean, Brantley Gilbert, Brad Paisley. So I can't explain it, but that just lets you know, anybody out there, if you're an entertainer and you're trying to make it, it's multiple processes.
Yep.
But if I give any advice to anyone who's younger trying to do this, write songs, play guitar. That's the 2 things you start with. Everything else will come, and it's easier. Yeah. But learning how to write songs, learning how to play guitar I think are huge as far as how you start this career. Because at some point, like I said, and if you have a kid that's bored, playing on their phone all the time, go buy them a guitar.
Yeah.
Get them a book on songwriting.
Give them something to do to occupy their fingers other than...
Yeah, because you can always play guitar.
Yeah.
Family functions. You get older, you're a teenager or late or in college or something, you're a campfire, break out the acoustic guitar, play.
Listen to what I'm telling you, guys, especially. You're in college and you pick up a guitar and start playing in the dorm, or you go play at a bar and the girls are just, woo! It happens.
Yes.
I saw it.
And even girls. I mean, you may be in a band.
Cool.
Instead of being a waitress, you might be in a band and to make your money while you're in college.
Yeah.
Which probably be more fun. nothing against waitressing. It could be fun probably as well. I don't know.
It can be.
So that's, in a nutshell, that's me. I mean, we played a bunch of shows. We've done stuff
That's
with
awesome.
the biggest artists and things like that. And I'm still, like I say, like Alan Jackson, I'm still chasing that neon rainbow. And I got invited to come play at the Ohio Hill Country Festival.
Thank you for saying that properly.
And Tom Brenner called me about playing that when he was doing a lot of the entertainment.
Yeah.
And that's when Hunter Hayes played there. That was when I opened for Hunter Hayes. That day. And from there, I was just doing it. Like, it's been 10 years. Like, this is the 10th year that I have done this. A couple years I didn't because of COVID, and they had another artist one other year. But then they called me back to come and play. So I'm excited. We got a show at like 12:30, and just a little show, a solo show.
So you're playing early and then playing later too?
Yes.
Okay.
So the later show will be with the full band, and just a high energy country show with me. I'm going to dance the whole night, talk with my crowd.
No wonder you're so in shape. If you dance the whole time.
Yeah, it definitely keeps you in shape, and just like some '90s country, a little bit of old country, a little bit of new country, and some of the originals that I've done. We did a video. We did the song "Country Thing." Mm-hmm. We did a video for that. It got played on Access TV and CMT.
Awesome.
And did pretty good with that. And we got a couple other songs out there on iTunes, any type of social media or music platforms, Amazon, just stuff like that. And then I gotta have a SimbaJordan.com website that shows where my shows and stuff that I'm playing. And I'm happy to be playing music. I love playing music. I love that people will come out and want to see me and have a good time.
Yeah.
And support me however they do. And so I'm just working on new music. I just talked with Lonnie the other day about cutting some new tunes. And that's what it comes down to. What do you call it? Content.
All about the content.
Yeah.
So Kenny Valentine was here yesterday. He played the Cole Festival, or the Ohio Hill Country Festival, I'm sorry, yesterday. And he was very complimentary of you. And so he was super excited that you were playing today as well.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. But yeah, it is about content, and it's about just keep doing your thing, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into, TikToks, and I did a little dance video with my daughter on Facebook.
Are you going to sing the Applebee's song?
Oh, no.
I'm going to tell you what, that thing is the devil. That song is the devil.
It's very catchy.
You hear it, and it's in your head for like 3 days. Yeah. So, yeah. So, okay, who inspires you?
I could go back a little bit with my mom.
Yeah.
She was a jazz singer.
Really?
I guess she didn't do it as long as I thought she had done it, because I started asking her questions about that stuff. So she just dabbed in it, but she has her own unique voice.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great vocal. And
do you ever sing together?
We have not. We've not done that, except for when I was a kid. So when I was a kid, I'd be playing with my toys or whatever, and she'd call me and my brother into the kitchen when she's cooking or something, and she'd make us sing these old jazz bluesy songs. I never knew of them. I never even heard them on the radio.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be done so I could go play with my toys. So she'd make us come out and sing. She'd make us sing these harmonies, some background vocals or something on these songs. And,
maybe you should get back to that.
Well, like I said, that's what she did. She used to sing out a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
So that was influential to me. Like, my mom could sing, so that's where I think I get my vocal ability.
Yeah.
And my dad used to be a dancer and stuff like that. Like, he would go to clubs, and he was a really good dancer. So, and like when I would go he was from Cincinnati, and I would go, when we would go back to his hometown and hang out and stuff, that's what they would talk about, him and dancing, and my aunt Joyce would go to these clubs and dance and stuff. And So I just put the two together. And you don't know what your like God-given talents are per se, but you just start figuring out other things. And that was part of it. Then I have an aunt and uncle, my Aunt Tony and my Uncle Bert. Everybody would always go to my grandparents' house for family functions, holiday stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody's in this house. And for some reason, when I was a kid, it seemed like a huge house. But when I grow up, it's like, man, this house is little. I don't know how everybody
how they fit us all in there, and not. I bet they drank. No, I'm just kidding.
But they would sing.
Yeah.
They used to sing when they were younger together.
That's cool.
And I love that. So toward the evening, they would start singing, and everyone would just be around watching my aunt and uncle sing. So that was very influential. Again, didn't know I was going to be a singer. But as I started to do this, I started thinking about my mom. I started thinking about my aunt and uncle. I thought about my grandmother would love if I sang country music. So she actually got to see me sing to win those national titles.
Oh, that's so good.
She's no longer here,
Aww.
but she did get to witness that and see me play a little bit. Yeah, and then my grandfather, who's no longer here now as well, big fan, big supporter, just stuff like that. But those are things that people need if you can support your family. My dad was a big fan of mine, so you just had those things were influential, and then just the artists that were out, Michael Jackson, and Mariah Carey, and Prince, and
I think the cool thing that's evolved in as music has evolved is that it's kind of like, so we own a restaurant. So my husband and I own a restaurant, and it's like, you kept hearing about fusion this, fusion that. And it's like just taking ingredients from Asian-inspired dishes and, Mexican-inspired dishes, and you start mixing them together. And I think the same thing with music. I think there's been a lot of fusion with music. Maybe like when we were growing up, there was a country genre, and you didn't have the country artists really playing on pop radio. And now it's kind of like you can take a little bit of inspiration from everywhere and mix it together.
Yeah, or they'll take like where in the country one it has fiddle in it.
Yeah.
And they just take the fiddle out and play it on the pop station.
You're like, okay.
Right. Yeah, no, I was just saying, like I was influenced
like
by
the Applebee's song.
All these songs, all these songs were or these artists helped me grow as an artist.
Yeah.
Like loving Michael Jackson and the kind of show that he would put on.
Oh man.
It's like, man, that's gotta be. I never got to see him live. I did get to see Prince though.
I got to see Prince too. It was a very bizarre concert. Was it the same one?
I don't know. Was it the Schottenstein Center?
Yeah, and the guy laid in the front, like they shot the guy and he laid in the front of the stage the whole time.
No, I didn't see that.
And then they canceled the tour after that.
Oh no, I didn't know.
It must have been a different year. It was a bizarre concert, but anyway.
So I got to see Prince. I got to see Garth.
Yes.
So when I'm coming up to be a singer, these are the people that I'm going, man, if I'm going to be good, I need to be like these guys. Right. I can't just go out there and just sing and say, and nothing's wrong with that, but I didn't want you to just be like, man, he can really sing. I want to say like he can entertain me. Like if you have a choice of the Jen ticket or my ticket, we're in town.
Right.
You got one choice to go see.
Yep.
But if Jen just kind of sings good and kind of stands there, and I can sing just as good as Jen, but I also dance.
You don't have to worry about me singing. So
I figure you may come see my show,
right?
Over someone else's show. Because
you're an entertainer, and why does Garth Brooks continue year after year after year to win Entertainer of the Year? Because he climbs up the scaffolding and swings around on wires and stuff.
Yes,
like a crazy person.
He's very entertaining.
He never stops.
And why does this show sell out in a half hour?
Because of that.
Right. So that's what I was looking at when I was doing this. I went to go see Garth at Gund Arena in Cleveland.
Okay.
We got our tickets, and then like literally half an hour later, it's sold out.
Yeah.
So I got to see that. Then he sold out all the shows at Cooper Stadium. He did 6 of them.
I saw Garth when I was for my 16th birthday a couple of years ago. This was about the same time I was the horse queen. My best friend's parents got us Garth Brooks tickets for the Ohio State Fair.
Okay.
And he only had, at that time, out No Fences. Like, he hadn't even released what was the second album that had Rodeo and all that stuff on it, and The River, and I can't remember what that one's called. He hadn't released that yet. He sang some of those songs at the concert. So we got to see him really early on in his career. But I just remember, I think that was probably my first concert, and him just being a wild man.
Right.
And thinking this guy is going to like blow up. And he did.
And that was the thing. Like, man, that to me, just as an entertainer, especially for country, like that was the bar that you had to try to get to.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Right. Anything else would be normal.
Yeah.
I would say. So that's what I did. I tried to I used to do splits on stage.
Honey.
Yes.
That's definitely not normal.
No. But imagine seeing that. Like, oh my God.
That's
like,
fantastic though.
Right. I haven't done it in a while, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the kind of show I'm trying to put on.
I love that. And you're going to see that tonight. Maybe not the splits.
Maybe not. Because sometimes it depends on, people don't understand that when you're on a stage, there's different stages. So some of them have carpet on them.
Yes.
Some of them have, they're real slippery.
Yes.
So I have to watch. Because seriously,
sometimes you do the splits and don't mean to.
Well, or you might slip. It might go too fast. You can't control the split,
honey.
or you might not be able to pop back up depending on the stage.
Yeah.
So, or there's too many cables.
Yes.
Or if it's smaller, you don't have as much room to kind of move, and sometimes the drums are too close.
We don't want to knock over the drums.
Can you get the drums back? Sometimes you can't. So then you only have a little bit of room to move, and you do the best you can. Yeah. So as an entertainer, you try to, work whatever stage you have.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
So what will be some of the songs that people, I assume your concert will be a few originals and a lot of sing-along songs as well. What can they expect?
So we, like I said, we try to put on an energetic show. So a lot of the 90s, really good songs. Like people always credit us on our set list.
Okay.
So we'll do Trouble, Travis Tritt.
Okay, good one.
We'll do Alan Jackson. What's the song called? Don't Even Know Your Name.
Gotcha.
We'll do Jerry Reed, Eastbound and Down.
Love that one.
Because I grew up watching my grandma's house.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh,
yeah. Yep.
So
I still watch it when it's on.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a great show.
And if I don't get one of those cars one of these days, I'm going to be so sad.
I had an uncle that had one of those cars. And he would drive up the street really fast. Had his long stretch of road.
T-tops.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, we'll do some of the newer stuff, like some Luke Bryan stuff and Jason Aldean stuff.
Love it.
Just really good up-tempo.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Kind of rock and country a little bit and stuff, yeah.
So what you're saying is you're going to entertain the fire out of the crowd at the Ohio Hill Country Festival tonight.
Yes, I am. I'm going to just really entertain you, and for a Thursday night, going into your weekend, you're going to have it's going to start off good, right off the get.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. So you are actually playing a kind of a single show around noon today up at the festival?
Yeah, 12:30.
Okay. So people can catch you twice today?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
If you're available, you can see the first show and come back, but make sure you get your seat for that band show.
Yeah.
I know people try to get there early to try to get set up because it's going to be a good time. Yeah,
and it will be packed up there tonight. So just, again, come with your family, kind of stick together if you can. And the good thing about having outdoor concerts is that people can spread out and feel safe.
Yep.
So
always safety first.
That's exactly right. All right. Well, very, very cool. So what else would you like our viewers to know? Okay. Question. You're probably going to kill me for asking you this. Is Simba really your name?
Yes. It is not a stage name. My grandfather named me Simba. It means young lion, which is why they used it on The Lion King.
The Lion King. So you were a Simba before the Lion King was a Simba.
Yes. I'm the original Lion King.
That is awesome.
Because some people think that I picked it up after the movie,
well, of course,
or whatever and stuff, and it's like, no. And the cool thing about it was, it's Swahili, But being Simba prior to The Lion King wasn't as fun as a kid.
Yeah.
Because the only thing you could relate to was like Tarzan movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So when Lion King came out, it was like, cool. Now, I remember at the end of the Aladdin movie, they show you the next preview of the next movie coming out.
Okay.
And all my friends were freaking out because they were watching this Aladdin movie. And they were like, oh my gosh, there's this, you got to watch this. And it's like, what are you talking about? So I got to see that movie like 7 or 8 times. Because all my friends wanted to go watch The Lion King with their friend Simba.
I went to see Simba with Simba.
Exactly. And then when the little kids meet me, they don't believe it's me.
Of course.
That's not Simba. That's a guy. And that's a lion. So I say, hey, check this out. This is Simba. And they just look and they go, no, not so much.
You definitely don't look like a Simba.
No.
No, I think what you're doing is awesome, and I really hope you keep up with it, and that something real good comes from it.
A
lot of good has come from it. You've had
Yeah.
a lot of fun and entertained a lot of people.
Yeah, it's always going to be, there will be that.
Yes.
And all of those things that I've shared are all happen at different times.
Yeah. We
You know what
kind
I
of
mean? So
condensed your
when-
story down.
Well,
to
yeah. But like when I'm
Sure.
going through a phase where I'm like, man, I just don't know anymore. Then all of a sudden, like I got earlier this year, I got a call about a TV show.
Oh, great.
So I've done all of the interviews. They're just waiting for them to pick it up. Let's say. So it could happen
For the show to happen.
Yeah, it could
itself.
happen, but it may not happen. And but those are the things that kind of come about. So when you're going through one phase of life and you're just like, well, I'm just playing right now, and I'm playing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden something happens, or an opportunity to play with a big artist, or those kinds of things happen. So, I'm always going to keep doing it. I don't think I'll ever stop playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
I would like to do it just full time, and just be able to play all over and share my entertaining ability with everyone. So I'm in the game.
Well, we're so glad that you do. So besides the Ohio Hill Country Festival, where has been your favorite place that you've ever gotten to play, and why?
I had a really good time playing the Circleville Pumpkin Show.
Okay.
I'm a fall kind of guy.
Pumpkin Show's awesome.
I like Halloween and stuff like that, pumpkins and stuff. And I used to play there a lot. Like people would say, man, my fall doesn't even start until I see Simba play
at the
Pumpkin Show. And, But like I said, other than that, though, playing the Schottenstein Center is great. I even do a national anthem for some of the Buckeye basketball, volleyball, hockey games.
Oh, you do? That's cool.
So that's been good. And, that big show with Blake, I mean, I'm driving on the track to get to the stage. So, like, how many people can say they did that?
Very few.
Right.
Very few.
So, and that was great for me. That was really cool for me. And, we've done some pretty cool big things. But like I said, playing here every year has been great, and I'm hoping that I've had some like little kids that were here earlier on taking pictures, and now like they were grown up and stuff. Like I'm like, man, that's crazy, right?
That is so neat, isn't it? It's like they grew up with you.
Yeah, they did. And then like all the pageant queens.
Yes.
Yeah. So every year I take pictures with them.
Yep.
And they move on to do other things and stuff like that. So that's always cool too.
Well, good. Well, we're so happy that you came to see us today. This has been so much fun.
I've had a good time. I've never done this long of a TV show type setup and stuff, but it's been cool. And
well, I'll bet you've never been interviewed by a horse queen either.
Never.
I mean, I'm just saying.
This is the first. But no, that's cool. That's so cool. So did you go to Quarter Horse Congress and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yep. I have a belt buckle from there too.
I played there too.
Did you?
Yeah.
I could see why.
And I played with the rods.
Oh.
In their area where they.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. They set up. Yep.
So it's been good. I love country music. It's not fake. It's real.
It is.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. And back to your, I think, original statement is it's just a lot of storytelling, heartfelt, heartfelt things, you know, and
Life.
it is, and it's real, and I'm glad you mentioned Dolly because she's just
The best, yeah.
bucket list. I gotta
Right,
meet.
me too.
I gotta meet Dolly.
Well,
How are we gonna do it?
My thing was, Grandma loved Kenny and Dolly.
Yep.
Kenny's gone.
Yeah.
I didn't get to meet Kenny, and I've not yet to meet Dolly.
How are we gonna pull this off?
Maybe Dolly will see this show.
We should send it to her people.
Hey, that's a good idea.
We should have our people send it to her people.
And then her people will call us back.
They'll be like,
You never know.
Don't talk about me anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
You never know. Like, that's big for me. Like, I don't know what I would do if I got to see or meet Dolly. I would just lose it. I would be a fan again. Like being in
so true though.
In this business, I've seen so many people. I'm not always like fanatic, but then there's certain people that you would be.
That's the thing. I think that Dolly Parton would walk into the room and I would just like freeze like I freeze when I see a snake in the grass. Like I don't know what I would do. I think I would be speechless for the first time in my life.
I would too, and I don't, like I said, I wouldn't even know where to start.
But isn't she just like such a ray of sunshine? Like, yeah, I just feel like maybe she would walk in the room though, and it would be infectious, and then everyone would just be happy.
Yeah, because she's so positive. She never says nothing negative, and even if she just never seems to be negative about anything.
Everything and everything that comes out of her mouth is hilarious
and positive.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know what I'd do if I ever got to meet. I'm hoping.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you do, you better call me and let me know.
Okay, I will. You'll be the first person I call.
I'll be like, I need to tell Jen.
I will. I'll take a picture and send it to you. Hey, so can I talk about my social media?
Absolutely. Talk about anything you want while you're here.
So I'm on pretty much every format of social media. So I have a Simba Jordan music Facebook page. There's a Simba Jordan Instagram. I have Snapchat. I have a TikTok. And like there's some other like music pages like Reverb Nation, SoundCloud.
Okay.
And on my SoundCloud though, I did write a song for my mom.
Oh.
And when I got married about 5 years ago, I couldn't find a song for son-mother dance.
Okay.
There's not, if you think about it, there's not really.
No, there's a lot of other ones.
Yeah, the father-daughter dance. None for a son and a mother. So I said, you know what, I'll just write it. I know my mom.
Yeah.
I know what it's like being a kid, having a mother and stuff. So I tried to write it from that perspective. So that song was on SoundCloud. It's called My Mama, You'll Always Be. Aww. So like when you grow up, you still need your mom. Even when your mom thinks that you don't need her anymore.
Yeah.
Like, so part of it starts with when you start tying your own shoes. Because that's one of the things that you'll really do that it's like, well, before that, mom always had to tie your shoes.
Right.
You go somewhere, come over here, let's put your shoes on.
One of your first independent things.
Yeah,
yes.
Put your shoes on.
Yeah.
And then we got to tie them up. Then eventually you learn and you can tie them yourself. So then it's like you slowly, it seems like your kid doesn't need you at these different times. You graduate from high school. It's like, if you're going off to college, it's like, okay, now it's that your room doesn't have anyone in there. So now you feel like, okay, he's grown or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when you get married, here's the other woman in your life that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. But it's just reassuring your mom that I'm always going to need my mom.
Oh, I love that.
So that's the chorus part of it. So check it out. If you're getting married and you don't know what song to use for mother-son dance, I think it's pretty good. And there's nothing else out there like that, so it gives you at least two choices. I think there's a Boys and Men song about mama. And after that, there's me.
There's yours.
Right. So sometimes that's how you kind of go about writing. Like, what's not out there that we need? So I'm on all kinds of social media platforms, and following the social media, you get to see stuff like this on my platform. And if I'm in Nashville recording, I post stuff like that in the studio, meeting people, stars, wherever, hanging out with people and stuff like that. Because I find myself doing a lot of that when I do go to Nashville. And not everybody is privy to those things, and it's really cool. Or being on a on the Daytona Speedway.
I mean, yeah.
Riding on there, I was like, I can't believe it. We're going to the stage, and you have to ride on you have to do 45 miles an hour to be up on the curve. To stay on the curve, you have to do at least 45.
Oh.
So we found that out there. But we didn't do it.
Oh.
But we learned about that. So just, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that people want to see me sing, feel like they're having a good time and enjoying whatever I bring to the table. And that's all I can really do. Try to just keep bringing a very good show to people. And I ain't going anywhere. Not going anywhere.
Well, one of these days, I'm telling you, you're going to say, I saw him at the Ohio Hill Country Festival, and I cannot believe it.
Right.
This is awesome.
And people will say, who's that guy? It's me.
This guy's sitting right here.
So I'm ready.
Let's do this. No, that's awesome. And please get out, enjoy the performances today. If you don't know, Wellston's not that big of a place. You head over to around the depot area and you'll see the stage, and that's where you'll be.
12:30 and 7:30.
Yep.
Hey, Jen.
Yeah.
I've got Simba's video here if we want to close the show out with that.
I think that's fantastic. You good with that?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
All right. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye.
Was Dixie, that was picking, shotgun waving, long neck drinking, hunting and a fishing, working and a wishing for the weekend. We say yes ma'am, no ma'am, sir, can I lend a hand, take a stand for something we believe in, love and pray and do anything for a good friend. We like campfires burning, buttermilk churning, low folks, dirty bros wildin' and a turning to a muddy creek, jumping from a tall tree into the deep end. That's a country thing. People who don't live it just might think we've gone insane. But those of us down home, we can stand right up and sing. It's a country thing. We like moonlight sipping, late skinny dipping, flat rock skipping, catfish hitting, sitting on a creek bank, sun's up but we ain't leaving. We like country twang and good southern rockin', fun in the sun on a bass boat docking, homemade wine and a mess of fish frying in a hot pan. Got grandmas, grandpas, newborn youngins, double wide homes and double first cousins, an old town square with the county fair and some good